Hi, good morning, everyone. Abigail Sapir here from Zichron Yaakov, Israel. I'm so happy you're joining us again for Foundational Healing with our Naturally Rooted doTERRA team. We are talking this week about bone health and how we can help to support our body in its own natural healing functions. We are not claiming that a food, plant, or medicine or supplement will cure anything. We are encouraging you to learn how your body works and how it heals itself and takes care of itself, as long as it has the right information, the right nutrition, and the right environment. So quick review here. We've talked about how toxins enter the body, and we've talked about how toxins exit the body. And now we are talking about where toxins get stored in the body. Because it's one thing to understand that I don't want to use chemicals and bring toxins in, and that whatever comes in, I do want them to go out. But what happens when they don't go out as fast as is ideal or as fast as we want them to, or at all? Or what if we have too many coming in? Or, what about our background and what happens with that? Well, they get stored in the body, and this brings on a lot of other health problems. And so we're talking about that as well, week by week. And again, this week is about bones. So it's really important to understand that our bones are very alive. And as you can see, this precious little birdie back here is growing, and her bones are getting stronger and stronger, just like little baby people. And it's really important to understand that the bones provide a lot of support for our bodies, and they help also to form our shape. Not everyone's shape is formed by fat or muscle. I mean, that's part of the shape, but also part of our shape is the bones, the density, the length, the broadness of the shoulders. It's not all muscle, it's bone too. How thick my fingers are. It's not all fat or muscle, it's bone. Some people have very narrow, thin bones. Some people have very broad, thick bones. And you actually changes in different places of the world as well. Bones are here to protect, to hold us upright, to allow us to walk and move using the muscles. But they're also to protect the vital organs inside of us. For example, the skull protects the brain and helps to form the shape of the face. And the spinal cord is this pathway for messages between the body and the brain, and it's protected by the backbone, spinal column. And so by the same token, the ribs, as you can see here, protect the heart and the lungs, and the pelvis protects the bladder and the reproductive organs, etc. So just a quick note here that everything that's coming into the body, don't forget, it goes into the blood, and the blood also goes into the bones. So we always want to make sure, like we talked about last week, that our blood is, that we're constantly cleaning our blood, whether we're doing castor oil packs or different kinds of detox. Drinking enough and keeping our lymph system going is also a very important part of good blood health. Now, related to the bones is also the joints. When the toxins are being stored in other places and not getting flushed out of the body as they should, they're also going to the joints. And cartilage has a lot to do with our bones as well. It's not only in the joints. Arthritic pain, inflammation, basically, if we are not eating right and exercising and getting the right nutrition into our body, creating the right environment for our body, toxins are going to get stored. And a lot of people, especially as they get older or they're doing too many repetitive movements, same movements, they start to feel toxic buildup in their joints. But it can also go into the bones and into the bone marrow. Now, I'm sure that some people have heard of like bone marrow cancer. Once we have infection in the bone marrow, that's about the hardest place to get to. This means that we have neglected whatever's been going wrong in our body for a very long time. And it's very serious. Um, bone marrow toxicity can results in reduced production of blood cells. Our bones help to produce blood cells. And so we want to have very strong bones. And not just as we're growing up, but as we get older, and maybe in our 30s, the bones have matured completely, and then maybe starts a slow disintegration. But we don't want to reach there. We don't want to lose bone mass. We don't want to lose bones. We don't want to break bones. So, although most of us, thank God, will never get to this place of bone marrow toxicity, what can we do just to support the health of our bones in general and to make sure that toxins never get a chance to get stored there? So first of all, it's really important to start when you're young. So every adult that's watching this, help your children and your grandchildren to start now. Eat a lot of vegetables. Perform strength training and weight-bearing exercises. Consume enough protein. Eat high calcium foods throughout the day. Get plenty of vitamin D and vitamin K. Avoid the really low-calorie diets that's not healthy for your body, especially your bones. Consider taking a collagen supplement. Maintain a good, stable, healthy weight. Don't fluctuate up and down. That's very stressful on the body. And make sure that you have enough magnesium and zinc in your diet. Also, it's important to make sure that we consume foods that are high in omega-3 fats. Now, wait, it's going backwards. Oh, there we go. Looking forward made me go backward. Oh, I want you to see Secret Physically Fit and Strong Bones by Mukuhi Joyce Mary. So what she talks about in this article is just some really great basic information on how to strengthen our bones even as an adult, okay? So protecting our bones is actually a lot easier than you think. And first, we really have to understand how diet and physical activity and other lifestyle factors can affect our bone mass. The bones play many roles in the body. For instance, providing the structure, like we talked about, protecting the organs. They also anchor our muscles, and they store calcium. And we need a lot of calcium. So that's why the supplements are very important, but also getting it in our regular diet. Now, just to make sure that whenever you're taking supplements, of course, we recommend doTERRA's because of the high quality of them. But it's the most important thing is that you're taking whole food supplements. And what are those, you say? Well, it's instead of extracting one aspect from the plant, you're using the whole plant. So you're going to take a calcium-rich green leaf and condense it down, and eat that as a supplement. So you're actually eating a whole food. Okay, it's been dehydrated in a very stable, careful environment to not lose the nutrients. So it's not the same as eating your fresh foods, but it's bioavailable to the body, meaning your body can use almost all of it, 99% of it, depending on the quality of it. So never take supplements that are in pill form. Those are not bioavailable, and they tend to cause more harm than good in the body. Eating that well-balanced diet is super important. Don't allow yourself to eat, to be lax in this. It's just not worth it. Because it doesn't just affect the health of our bones, but all the other parts of our health and wellness. Get a lot of vitamin C, calcium, and vitamin D. C is important as well. And get as much from your food as possible. Eat a lot of vegetables. And if your digestion is so bad that raw food makes you feel bad or sick, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. You are not an exception that cannot eat raw food. It doesn't work like that. It just means that your digestive system has been damaged over time and needs to heal. And so you need to treat it like a baby. And there's things that you can do to help that heal very quickly and gently in a wonderful way, so that you can very soon eat a lot of those raw fruits and vegetables. Make sure that you're getting a daily routine of physical activity. Just walking 30 minutes is enough for that daily physical activity. Drink only live coffee. This is a whole other subject. And if you would like some information on it, I'm happy to share it with you because it's very exciting. Otherwise, don't drink coffee. It's too acidic and the caffeine is very bad for us. And there's really nothing good. There's not much good about dead coffee. The coffee in the stores, no matter how freshly ground it is, if it's older than 24 hours after being roasted, it's dead. Live coffee has 1,500 chemical reactions that happens in it as it's being roasted. And once it's roasted, it is alive for about 24 hours. And it's very powerful and it can be amazing for you. It's been used for thousands of years like that. But as soon as, so it's really only something that you can use as a personal, like someone as yourself roasting your own coffee, which is if you can make popcorn, you can make coffee. It's not a problem. Or a coffee shop that understands the importance of live coffee and roast their coffee on site and fresh every day. That's the only way. Otherwise, just skip it. You're not getting the real thing anyways. Eat only whole protein sources. Don't take protein shakes. Again, this is like a non-bioavailable source for the body. It gets gunked up in your colon because you're extracting the protein only from the plant and you're not getting the full thing. It's like, eating only corn instead of a well-balanced meal. It's the same thing. We want to avoid that. Use less sugar, and this is all kinds of sugar. Find healthy sugars that you can manage. Use coconut sugar, ceylon, I'm sorry, that's the Hebrew word, date syrup or date honey, however you call it where you live. Honey, raw honey as much as possible. You have a lot more nutrients. Manuka honey, if you can afford it, is the most magical stuff in the world. Xylitol is a okay one as well, taken from the birch tree, if I'm not mistaken. And otherwise, don't use, never use a sugar supplement. Stevia is another one. If you can manage the taste, good. Sustain a healthy weight. Our bones are only as strong as they are. No matter how healthy you are, even if you're the most healthy person in the world, your bone structure can only handle a certain amount of weight, and your joints as well. So when you are out of your healthy weight for your body, you create a huge, huge strain on your joints and on your bones. It's a very unkind thing to do to ourselves. Avoid constant falling. Don't be part of, sports where you're falling all the time if you want to have strong, healthy bones. If you are tripping and falling just on your own, then you need to see a healthcare professional about why this is happening. It can be mental, emotional, it can be physical. Always use whole food supplements, which I mentioned before. Never eat, whether it's protein, you're taking protein in your shake, use a whole food source. Fresh is always better. But if you're on the run or you need something fast, get something from the health food store, some like raw sprouted whole food protein sources. There's some good ones. Always be aware of your medication side effects. If unfortunately you do have to take pharmaceuticals, always read the fine print, just like any contract. When you take medication, you are signing a contract with your body that you agree to the side effects that might and will come. Please understand that. Please know that it is a contract. Your body is you are a sentient being. And you get a piece of paper that gives you all of the information of what you're going to put in your body. If you don't read that, it's the same as not reading a rental contract or a purchase contract or any kind of employment contract. You are still responsible for what happens. So please be aware of side effects that damage your liver, your kidneys, your bones, etc. If you can at all, find natural sources. And if you can't, if it's an emergency situation, just make sure that you're doing everything possible to make up for that deficit that's going to happen. Avoid the very low calorie diets again. This is not going to help you have fit and strong bones. Perform weight training, strength training, and weight bearing exercises. Now, this is in addition to your daily exercise routine. This is not walking. This is resistance stretching, body building muscles with your body weight. I don't really suggest working with weights if at all possible. There are so many brilliant, just mind-blowingly brilliant ways to build up your body and to actually become even a bodybuilder. Like if your kids wanted to, or your husband wants to, or maybe you want to. One of my good friends here in Zichron, she came in second place in Miss Canada bodybuilding fitness. I don't even know what it's called. I mean, she was ripped. But you can use your own body weight very, very intelligently. There's never an excuse not to build muscle. And strengthening your muscle is very important for protecting your bones. So let's talk about supplements, because we already have a lot of background with our previous classes on drinking and eating. And of course, we know about the Lifelong Vitality Kit, which we're going to talk about next. But what is something we can specifically do for our bones if we have weak joints, if we have weak bones? So the doTERRA Nutrients Essential Complex. Now, when you read about it online, you're going to see a lot of words like women, girls, females. And I'm not sure why that wording hasn't changed in the description of this bone nutrient complex, because as doTERRA will tell you, it is an absolute must for everyone. Now, especially women, okay? Women have a natural tendency to have weaker bones than men. And so it's very important, especially with all the hormonal changes we go through. Hormones can have a huge impact on the health and fitness of our bones. So as you can read on this slide here, this complex is just especially put together for bone health, for joint health, for collagen production, minerals and vitamins from the time of adolescence through the age of menopause for women. Continue to take it. Men have hormones too, and things can change. And whether we're exercising too much or too little, everything that we do affects all of our body. So if you have young children, adolescents, put them on the bone nutrients complex as they grow so that they can have strong bones. Once they begin puberty, get them on this supplement into their 20s at least, and get them eating for themselves. Get them, help them raise their awareness, what they're putting in their body and how that affects every part of them. You've got a lot of minerals, that are especially here for bone health, and really supports that, just that extra bit of help that we need, especially for those that are struggling with osteoporosis and just maybe weak, brittle bones in general. The primary benefits is to provide optimal levels of the vitamins and minerals that are essential for growing and developing, maintaining our healthy bone mass and density, to provide that excellent source of calcium and magnesium, very high quality and purity. It supports healthy bones and overall health throughout a lifetime, because remember, whatever whole bioavailable form of food, natural nutrients that we're putting into our body is going to positively affect every aspect of us, including our mind and our emotions. This is a proprietary formula. It is a patented formula of, what doTERRA can assess is the highest quality of bone nutrients in bioavailable forms. You can have really expensive stuff on the market that's not in a bioavailable form. So it might be very high quality of something, but it's not something your body can absorb most of it. And we really want to eat foods that our body can use all of it, almost all of it, the less waste that our body has to deal with, the more strength and energy we can have, and the more it can put that energy towards always keeping us in top form, healing and detoxifying us naturally. So again, we're going to leave you this week. I know it's short, but that's okay, because thankfully bone toxicity is not something we often have to deal with, but it's more about prevention in this case. And we have a bit longer to deal with it than, maybe sometimes what the kidneys are struggling with and what our skin is dealing with. So just something to keep in mind, that our bone health is still extremely important for everyone of all ages. Don't be afraid to detox. The more we can get the toxins out of our body, the healthier we will feel and look and be. The more efficiently our body will be able to work and to function and to work through all of the different systems that it has to regenerate and reboot and fix and correct. And it's just this incredible machine. And the more we learn about it, the more exciting it is, and the more we want to take care of ourselves and love ourselves and treat ourselves well. Because even if I think in my mind I don't deserve something, my body didn't do it. My body deserves the best. So I need to take care of it like I'm a really good friend to myself. So I just thank you so much for being with us in week 9. And next week, we're going to talk about skin health and care, and how to keep our skin clean and looking healthy and beautiful, and protect it from outside environmental toxins, and skin products that we put on ourselves, and as well as what's happening when we have breakouts and rashes and all of these things. Is this really just a skin issue, or do we have to deal with it from a different perspective as well? So thank you again for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next week, and many new faces, 11:30 Israel time, as we discover how to take care of our beautiful, wonderful skin. I wish you good health and a wonderful week. Bye for now.